Hey everyone, my name is Aurelia Udelagitaini. Today I will read news about a new act of economic conflict in the Economist magazine. The West has imposed crushing sanctions on Russia. The implications are harsh. Russian invasion of Ukraine could yet become the biggest military action in Europe since 1945. It also marks a new era of high-risk economic warfare that could further splinter the world economy. The measures the West has imposed on Russia are so potent that they have triggered chaos in its $1.6 trillion economy and prompted the President Vladimir Putin to issue nuclear threats. The instant immiseration of a big economy is unprecedented and will cause alarm around the world, not least in China, which will recalculate the cost of a war over Taiwan. The West's priority must be to win the economic confrontation with Russia. Then it must create a doctrine to govern these weapons in order to prevent a broader shift towards autarky. The fact that Russia didn't take the threat of sanctions seriously at first is no surprise, see briefing. For years, they have been plentiful but ineffective. Reluctant to use hard power, America and Europe have reached for economic penalties instead. Some 10,000 people or firms are subject to America sanctions affecting over 50 countries with 27% of world GDP and covering everything from torture to cryptocurrencies. Often they make little difference. Autocrats can evade target measures. Full embargoes on Iran and Venezuela have been crippling but not top regimes. The deterrent effect has been weak as malefactors have assumed that America would never apply maximum pressure on a big economy. On February 26, that Rubicon was crossed when sanctions were imposed on the world's 11 biggest economy, see free exchange, by making it illegal for Western firms to deal with big Russian banks, except in the energy trade, and expelling them from the global payments plumbing. The flow of money across borders is seizing up. Action against Russia's central bank means it cannot gain access to much of its vast $630 billion pile of foreign reserves. Confidence has evaporated. The ruble has fallen by 28% this year as capital flees, threatening soaring inflation. Russian share prices have dropped by over 90% in offshore trading, and multinationals are leaving the scumpeter. From Moscow to Murmansk, Russians are crying outside banks. The shock could lead to a hope or cash crunch that impedes the war machine. But Mr. Putin could retaliate with his with his own economic weapons, including strangling the flow of gas. See business section. After nuclear bombs were used in 1945, it took years to develop a doctrine to govern how to deal with retaliation. Now, amid the chaos, there is no time for an equivalent for sanctions. One principle is clear: through any Russian economic retaliation must be met by more damaging response by the West that makes that act retaliation irrational. Through its ability to stymie service and oil exports, from which Russia earns 4 times more than gas, the West has the advantage. If the West faces down Russia and cements the new weapons deterrent power, the long-run implication will be daunting. The more they are used, the more countries will seek to avoid relying on Western finance. That would make the threat of exclusion less powerful. It would also lead to a dangerous fragmentation of the world economy. In the 1930s, a fear of trade embargoes was associated with a rush to autarky and economic sparse influence. Autocracies will be most nervous. They own half of the world's $20 trillion pile of reserves and sovereign wealth assets. Although China can inflict hawk economic costs on the West by blocking supply chains, it is now clear that in the event of a war over Taiwan, the West could freeze China $3.3 trillion reserve pile. Even some democracies like India, which has avoided condemning Russia's invasion, may worry they are more vulnerable to Western pressure. Over the next decade, technological change could create new payments networks that bypass the Western banking system. China's digital currency trial has 26 million users. Today, it is hard to park trillions of dollars outside Western markets, but in time, more countries may seek to diversify their reserves by investing more elsewhere. Some of this fragmentation has become inevitable, but by applying sanctions to over more countries over the past 2 decades and now also raising their potential severity, the West risks pushing more countries to dealing from the Western-led financial system than is desirable. That is why, after the crisis in Ukraine passed, the West should aim to make clear how sanctions will be controlled. The relentless proliferation of the low-level sort ought to be contained. Although target measures against individuals and firms for human rights abuse remain legitimate, even if they rarely work, and it should be made clear that economy-wide sanctions of the devastating kind being used against Russia are reserved for the worst acts of aggression and war. The West has deployed an economic weapon that was until recently unthinkable. It must be used wisely. Thank you.